morning, good afternoon, bonjour, bonsoir à tous. Bienvenue. Welcome to this week's edition of Wada Forum. We are the 22nd of May, plowing through the year. Love to see it. Today, we'll be focusing on some different highlights from our ecosystem, but honing in a little bit on Intersect in light of the elections of the committee members that were announced. Was it only last week? It seems like time is flying, but some of us have started serving on our committees and want to share, what's going on out there in the world with you. So that's going to be the main part of our agenda today, as well as some high-level updates from Catalyst and SingularityNet. Here are some valuable resources. Feel free to read through any of these links for more background on any of the topics we go over today. Good resources to have. Okay, so we've got some new people, old people in the audience. So I'm going to call on people today to read these. So, Janti, you'll be up for the French one. But let's have Mubarak, Kit, can you unmute? Can you read our English statement of purpose?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hear you well.
To elevate underrepresented groups through the application of technology and invest in a more equitable future. Equitable. Why not impartial? Or what was that third one that we were arguing about? Never mind. Thank you.
All right, Janti.
Oui, déclaration d'intention. Notre mission, élever les groupes sous-représentés grâce à l'application de la technologie et investir dans un avenir plus équitable.
Merci beaucoup. This is not new news, but you all know we've had a bit of a different structure this year with the Wada Forum. So at the beginning of each month, our Thursday session is more of an outward-facing event. We host those on Zoom still, but we also broadcast to X Spaces, formerly Twitter, and have been having a very engaging time there with the wider community. But these between sessions, so the other sessions of the month are more internal calls, just with our hub network and kind of the in-house people to discuss relevant topics. People are free to bring anything to the agenda that they so wish. We have kind of a tentative agenda planned, but there's always room for modifications as we go, if there's anything important anyone wants to bring to the table. That being said, we're coming up around the half-year mark, where we'll want to evaluate, how the time is going and things like that for everyone. So look out in the next couple of weeks for possible summer break and discussion on whether we'll be modifying this time to suit better our audience. Okay, here is where I'll pass the microphone over to Dufwa to give us a high-level update from what you missed last week. Dufwa, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Please, am I being heard?
Yes.
Great. So last week, we had some updates from Catalyst. We said that the Catalyst Town Hall has relaunched on Zoom. And this time they have a focus on governance and voting method innovation. We also said that there was a presentation on quadratic voting that's going to start from Fund 14. And that there was no timeline for implementation. That's Fund 14, yeah. But then we're depending on Catalyst budget approval. I'm sure there'll be more information on that today. And for Intersect, we congratulated the people that had been elected to the Intersect committees. And then we discussed the net change limit with multiple proposals from the 200 million to 350 million ADA in contention. We also had updates from the DF4 project that is happening in Ghana in the north. And then we also discussed our new meeting format that we'll talk more on today. So Megan, over to you. Yes. So there's an uploaded recording of last week's meeting on YouTube. So you can also have a look at that. Thanks. Megan, back to you.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Dufwa. Yeah, if you missed it, check out the recording or just engage with us here. We'll keep you up to date on what you need to know. Next slide. All right. As far as Catalyst updates, I did actually have a conflict yesterday in regards to the town hall. So I will leave it open if anyone attended who wants to share anything. But as far as I know, one of the more exciting things to just continue to highlight is that the Fund 14 will come with quadratic voting, and Fund 15 is finally going to have the DReps. Whether this is a good thing or not, we'll come to see with time. But it's at least interesting, and I'm interested to see how things progress. Kit, I see your hand is raised. Were you at town hall this week?
No, I wasn't at town hall. I wanted to ask that Abe mentioned about moving away from idea skill, like voices, catalyst voices. Is it Fund 14? Is it still Fund 14? As I understand it, was on the original roadmap that they shared with me some time ago. Yeah, I'm not sure if that is still on. For anybody that knows about that.
Yeah, does anyone know the answer to Kit's question? I know they've talked about kind of redoing idea scale or migrating to a different platform, but I haven't heard whether that will be ready for Fund 14. All right, well, we'll dig into that and try to bring that information next week if there is anything to update. Kit, thanks for the question. I see in the chat a question about what is quadratic voting. So there are different forms of quadratic voting, but just on a high level, what the version that they will be implementing next funding round is just a square root of your total wallet. So thus far, Catalyst voting has been, the amount of ADA in your wallet is the total weight of your vote. And they implemented last fund, Fund 13, the lower threshold of 25 ADA allowed you to vote. But it's still the weight of your wallet that gives you, one ADA is one vote kind of thing. So if you have 30 ADA, you get 30 votes. And you can cast that as you wish for as many proposals as you want. There's been a lot of research that shows how that disproportionately advantages whales. Large ADA holders have basically exclusive control about what happens. So one way of addressing that is to take the square root function, which still allows people with more ADA to have a heavier weight, but it kind of evens the distribution more so that their weight is not so much more than someone else who has less ADA. So I think this is, a topic, if people are interested in, that we could go into more depth to kind of model mathematically and things like that. I'm actually involved as well with Fotrec, who's a team who's basically been pushing Catalyst to move in this direction since Fund 4. Fund 4 was the first project that we worked on to kind of defend quadratic voting as a better solution to kind of represent voices better and not just ADA. So if there's interest, we can dedicate some more time to that, to future sessions, but I won't ramble on too much about it today. As far as Catalyst, though, if no one else has anything to contribute, I will pass over to the next person to share updates And I think we'll go over to you, Samuel, for SingularityNet.
Yeah. Am I audible now? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. So, as we know already, last week we had the guys from Nalerigu. Megan, I guess I got it right this time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been practicing all week. So, yeah, we unveiled the beautiful project that we are having in Faraway up north, and they shared experiences as regards what they have been through the past 2 months or so, because we have run the program for about 8 weeks now. And the little updates I want to share today is the fact that we are entering into the capstone phase of the project. And this is a stage where the students will begin applying their acquired knowledge to build real-world solutions. And the stage is focused on helping them to translate technical skills into practical use cases, sort of drive innovation and support the early growth of their own startups. And as we said, this is exponential training. We expect that those who will come atop, or those who will do well in the program in the subsequent funding rounds, as far as deep funding is concerned, we are going to put other proposals there for us to continue this in other parts of Africa. So essentially, this is what we are entering into, and this is the update that I can provide as of current time. Megan, thanks.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks so much for the update. And then I believe, as far as Intersect update, Nana Safo will be joining us shortly, I believe. He's currently in a civics committee meeting, as far as I know. And we're hoping that he'll join afterwards too.
He's already started working. Interesting.
Yeah.
No,
that's what, we signed up for. We got elected, and the next
Don't
week
worry.
we're starting to get invited to meetings.
Don't worry, very soon you guys will be tired of it very soon.
Oh my God.
No, you can't dampen my spirits yet.
We are talking
But
about
I was going to say, I
immediately.
can stand in to give some Intersect updates in the meantime, and then it kind of transitions into the next part. So maybe this kind of counts as my what
Megan,
I know about what's going on in the budget committee.
Megan, I'm sorry, it seems the civics man is here.
Well, maybe we'll give him a minute to warm up. Hi, Nana Safu.
Yeah, okay.
I was pulling you off the spot, and Samuel was trying to put you back in it for Intersect updates. Basically, I think on a high level, as far as Intersect goes, so as I mentioned, we had Intersect committees gathering new members the last week. So new members have started being invited to meetings, and there's been kind of orientation and regular activity that's been going on. So we'll pass over the microphone to Samuel to help moderate, since I am too biased to moderate the next part. But we have a handful of committee members, both old and new, here with us to share kind of about what our experiences have been like, and share what you all need to know about what's happening behind the scenes at Intersect.
Megan, so do I go for it now, or maybe after Nana Safo is come through with whatever update he has from Intersect?
Well, I was going to say that I think he'll have a chance to share updates from his perspective on the civics committee. So maybe we can keep it like that.
All right, then. So yes, we have been excited the past few weeks, I guess, when the results of the Intersect various committee elections came up. If you think about how the last time round, I'm referring to the previous one, we didn't have a lot of nominations, a lot of wins. But this time, a number of our community members, won, and this was an exciting piece of news. So we are excited today to host some of these newly elected members and their various committees. And these individuals, I can say, now serve on membership and community civics and budget committee. And these are crucial entities or bodies that shape the future of governance in the Cardano ecosystem. So we'll hear from a few of them I can see on the call. I know Boaz is here, Maureen is here, Megan, yourself, and Nana Safo. So we're going to hear from these guys what we intend to do. We'll explore their experiences so far, their expectations, what they aim to bring to the table, and how they see their roles supporting more open, inclusive, and effective Intersect. So I won't waste much time. Let's begin by getting to know each of them. We'll start with a few general questions on their journey into the governance so far, and we'll zoom into technical questions if we have a lot of time. So I start by saying congratulations to you all on your election. First, I want to go to Maureen and ask, how did you feel when you found out you had won your seat? Did you check it yourself? Did somebody call you to tell you? It was a bit of an experience. It's Maureen on the call?
I'm not seeing her anymore. I don't know
sorry.
if you saw
Sorry.
her come in.
Sorry
She's
about
been
that.
trying to join though.
Okay. Then maybe I can go to Nana Safo with the same question. He is elected onto the service committee. Earlier we heard he was even on a meeting, meaning he started working already. Nana Safo, how did you receive the news? You're on mute.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm just wrapping up a meeting, so pardon me if you could be around and come back out. I'll be happy. Thanks, Samuel.
Okay, then Megan, take over.
Okay. No, I was very pleasantly surprised. I don't consider myself to be a politician. I didn't do really a good campaign, if I do say so myself, but I did, apply because I thought I would fulfill the role very well. And I'm humbled and honored to be serving in this position. It's basically been 1 week into the second week right now of meetings that I've been included on. And it's very good to have some insight into the process. I think it's very easy to sit on the outside and kind of judge critically.
Yeah.
They're not doing a good job kind of thing. But when you're sitting on the inside in a committee, you have a little bit of a realization that, okay, these are just people that are trying to make something work for the community. And it's hard. It's hard to get it perfectly right the first time. And one thing I'm having a bit more perspective on being inside the committee is we kind of need to just do something. Maybe it's not perfect, but do something that can get the ball rolling. So from the budget committee perspective, specifically, something going on right now in Intersect is that they've transitioned everything to be decentralized, meaning any of their operating budget now needs to go through an approval process of the whole Cardano ecosystem, all ADA holders, through the process of delegated representatives voting on info actions. And then there's the constitutional committee that can also vote, approve or not. Then there's SPOs that can also be involved in some of these decisions. But essentially, it needs to pass first as an info action for the whole budget. And then what will follow up is the Treasury withdrawal. And even just a couple of meetings sitting on the inside, you realize, well, at some point, some of these operations need to get funding, or, things might not be able to work as we know it. Because to this point, a lot of the positions are volunteer, right? As far as I know, I've accepted a volunteer position on the budget committee. And I don't know if other people, like Kit, I know you've been around for a bit longer, so maybe you have any insight into any discussions that have gone on as far as that goes, of how the volunteer time, what's the expectation of your commitment, and what's the expectation of possibly getting compensated down the line. But I'll try not to talk too much. There was a long-winded answer to your question. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go to Boaz now for him to share first how he received the news, and maybe go ahead and tell us what inspired him to actually contest for the seat. Boaz, can you unmute to tell us something?
Good, thank you. Bonsoir, good evening, Akwaba, si je l'ai bien dit. Thanks for the moment. So how I got it, it was like a busy day for me. And I saw people in my WhatsApp group from the Goma community congratulating me. And I was like, oh, wow, it worked. So we won, guys. Yeah, it's how I received the message about the results. So how it the second question,
I was asking what inspired you, what motivated you to contest for this seat?
So since I've been in the blockchain world, what I do the best, as I'm used to say, it's the community building. So I thought that I can serve better in membership and community committee, and I can represent better my community and the global Cardano. So it's how it came to my mind to do it. And apart from that, I've been a former candidate in the same committee, but I failed, and I told myself I have to push. I couldn't give up. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Who else is on the call? Pitts, I'm sure, was not elected this time around, but he's been in the civics committee for some time now. Is that right, Kit? Kit, if you are talking,
It's the GMC.
Say again.
Yeah. Currently I'm still a member of the committee. I'm a member of the GMC, the Growth and Marketing Committee.
Oh, that's nice. You want to share with us some experience you have had? Maybe that will guide our new people into the various roles they are playing. Specifically, what plays or what key roles define the governance frameworks in terms of the committee that you join?
Well, I would say what I would say to the new members is that congratulations first. I'm actually really happy. I'm really, really happy that a lot of African people got on board this time around, because just when it was myself, Messi, and Darlington, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But you look left, look right, they've done something that were South African. You guys cannot imagine. Don't worry, you guys will get to see it. Imagine the bullshit that we have to sit through at those committee meetings where they are just basically doing anything, and Africa is just like a pastime to them. But then I think that is getting better. The community eyes, everybody is now looking towards Africa. The eyes are now open. So another thing I'll tell them is that it's first of all, it's a thankless job. You guys are going to be hated. You guys are going to be wanted. You guys are going to be ridiculed. You guys are going to a lot of things. You're going to be ostracized. Community job, this committee job in Intersect. A lot of things, like some people are going to praise you, some people are going to cast aspersions on you. So just have to put that in mind too, and just as long as you know what you're doing it for. And okay, I'll talk on with regards to what Megan said about pay. Right now, it's a volunteer job. I mean, I've been for over a year, right? I've been on not a committee like my committee actually is a newly inducted committee that was uh bootstrapped from a working group. So I was on that working group for a year, and then on the committee for a couple of, is there about 4 5 months now, or 6 months. So that's like more than 2 years since, basically like almost 2 years working full time in Intersect without pay. Like, and it's crazy. So right now, the update on that is that I mean, of course we've talked about payment, like we've talked about payment with the Intersect staff, we've talked about reimbursement or remuneration, and some figures were thrown around. Don't worry, if you want to know the details about the figures, pick me up later. I'll whisper it in your ear, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to say it out. But anyways, yeah. So the thing is that right now there's no pay for committee members unless you can get your budget through. Each individual committee, except the steering committee, has a budget. So if you want to get, so the way committee members will get paid, and also get other funding to do some needed things, because there are some things that is going to be expected of you to do as a committee member. Like, for instance, membership and community committee, you'll be expected sometimes, if you get the funding for it passed through. I mean, maybe you could, they're the one in charge of this annual member meeting, handling all the orbs, the intersect orbs. Then we also have the senior committees. You could be handling constitutional matters. So fundings are needed for those things. So that's why it was important to do those individual intersect budgets. So if your committee gets the funding passed through by the DReps must approve it before you can say, okay, if the DReps approve your budget, then committee members get paid. If not, then it's volunteer work until such a time the DReps feels you are worthy. So yeah, that's just the update on that.
Yeah, thank you very much for the insight about the compensation and everything. Yes, we know it's a volunteer work over the years, but maybe this year something might happen, and maybe you guys will get some little compensation for the hard work that you do. Megan, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I want to come back to you.
Maureen is here now. So
Maureen,
bring her in.
Yeah, if Maureen's joined, let me go back to Maureen and I'll come back to you. Maureen, congratulations on your election. How did you feel when you found out you had won your seat? Did you check it yourself? Did somebody tell you? What was the experience?
Hi guys. Okay, so it was nice. Yeah, I didn't check it myself. I was receiving messages like congrats, and I was just like, okay, congrats what? And when I went to X, I saw some tweets, and also in my group chats they were all tagging me on X like congrats. And so yeah, that was when I said okay, and then I went to the dashboard, and that's when yeah. So it was nice. It was nice, especially when, yeah.
That was a good feeling, huh? Okay, Maureen, you have been very active in the Cardano space. You are very vibrant on X and all other relevant platforms. Do you have a special motivation, something that moved you to run for this position, and what do you hope to bring to the table?
Okay, so I chose MCC because I felt like it was going to that will help me work with the community better, which I was already trying to do. Like, I felt like I would be able to connect with maybe resources that would help me to, serve the community better. Because while online, I get people asking me some things that I'm like, okay, I don't know this, but maybe if I had something, if I had maybe a direction on what these kind of things are, or where someone needs to ask. I don't know if that makes sense, but most newcomers are really lost on Cardano. So I felt like, okay, maybe I should go here and I can be able to guide them better. Another reason is that I want to help with the communication problem that we have on Intersect. It's a big problem. A lot of messages get lost. People don't know what's going on because everything is shared in multiple channels. And I just wanted to be at the table where they discuss these matters to move things forward.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Great motivation. Just under 30 seconds, any strategies up your sleeve in terms of helping shape the communication issue that you just alluded to?
Yeah, so we had our last call, I think it was Tuesday. We were talking about that particular issue.
Okay.
Which to me is like it's high priority. And we were exploring ways to do that. The one I had up my sleeve was just to use wallet. Although I can't take credit for that. Someone actually suggested it to me, a member from the community called Max.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was brilliant. I was sharing the idea there, and we are still thinking about how to do it because everybody is still already checking their wallet. I'm sure everyone in here has checked their wallet today like 4 times. Okay, well, maybe not 4, but at least once. So when you're checking your wallet and there's notifications, at least we should have some of that. Or maybe we could just put one channel. One other idea was to just be sharing information in one channel consistently. So everybody knows that if you need information, this is the place to go, and not everywhere the way it currently is.
Yeah. So you want a dedicated channel or one particular space where this important information is shared, and not just the fact that the information is all over the place and you don't really know where to get the official information from. That's right?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for these great ideas and these things you want to bring to the table. I'm sure it's very relevant, and once it is articulated well and your committee takes it up, I think it's going to shape the entire ecosystem in a positive way. Megan, I want to come back to you if we are still on. When you were talking, you were trying to sort of talk about how different it is when you sit on the fence and you're not part of the committee and you are criticizing, and also a different ball game or a different feeling altogether when you are in there and things like that. Since joining the committee, what has surprised you the most in a good or challenging way? Anything like that you want to share with us?
What has surprised me the most?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything.
No, let me shape it this way.
Yeah.
In terms of what perceptions you had about the budget committee, and you go in there and things are entirely different. Is there something like that?
No, I wouldn't so much say. I think I had an open mind in terms of my expectations. And, like Maureen just mentioned, one of my biggest frustrations, I'm not even a new Cardano person, and I have a hard time finding information. It's like as soon as you get out of the habit of going to Catalyst town halls, you don't know what's happening. But even so, since this shift, it used to be kind of Catalyst was the Catalyst town hall in particular was where you could get all the information you needed around Cardano. And now that we've had this big shift to Intersect and, the bigger governance discussion, that stuff isn't happening in Catalyst Town Hall at all. And so now it's become even more obvious of this kind of clear divide of, just like Maureen said, where do you get information? Yeah, there's a lot of different places you can get information from. Twitter seems to be a big one. They have the Discord channels. They have Telegram channels.
Yeah.
They have, I saw Nana Sappho put in the chat, the Cardano Forum. Absolutely. And the challenge is different people like to use different ones. So like I said, Twitter is probably a really big one because that's where you have a lot of dialogue around it. So there might be information that's communicated, but what's also more interesting is how are people receiving this, and that aspect of it. So it's kind of like you have to have your hand in all of the different places, or your eyes or your ears in all the different places to know what's going on. So what I've appreciated as being part of the committee is it's helped to give me a bit more of an insight. And what surprised me is also, even being inside, I still feel like I need to ask the question of, okay, where do I find this information? Because it's not like one clear spot still, which, I had been hoping for, but, that was optimistic.
Yeah.
And I see Kit has his hand raised to maybe respond.
You want to do that under a minute. I have to go back to Nana Sappho to share his experience, and later we come back to our participants on the call to also share what exactly they want these committee members to sort of influence the various committees that they find themselves on in terms of helping to project the interest of Africa. Kate, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to even call attention that Nana Sappho has been writing in the chat that he's back. So
Okay.
Maybe if he goes before me, I won't mind.
Nana Sappho, are you ready? Tell us your experience. For you, I have a specific question. Let me check. But are you ready in the first place?
Yes, I am. But whilst you get your question, maybe Mubarak can serve us what he asks, and then I'll come after him, if you don't mind.
Nana Sappho, you have been just going back and forth.
Not to break the flow of the conversation, right? So
okay. So Kate, let's see. Nana Sappho will come back.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to add something tiny in that the problem of information. See, the issue is the people. It depends on the people that want to get the information. Like different channel, a lot of people use a lot of channel, and it depends on what part of the world you are from, which channel do you use as a person. That's when, because if you use Discord primarily, if you live on Discord primarily, there's some things that you won't know about. When you not hear about it, you'll be like, when did that happen? That's what is happening. So the issue is that it cannot. There's no perfect channel except that wallet stuff. I think that wallet stuff that Murray mentioned is ingenious because that's the only thing that really unites all of us. Everybody's holding either. Some might hold more, some might not hold at all. Like some might hold more than others, right? But everybody's holding either, and everybody checks their wallets. So it's now a way to like figure out, okay, what kind of information is going to be displayed on that wallet. It's not everything that would, you cannot overburden all the notifications, or then that becomes useless. The important ones, the really, really important ones, can come up as a pop notification. So yeah, it's something that we've discussed too. Like at length, a lot of people have talked about, but I don't think it's something that can be solved 100%.
Thank you, Kate. Interesting submission. Nana, so back to you. For you, I want to ask you how you felt because before I realized I had you post in the various channels thanking everybody who voted for you. So I know for you, perhaps you saw it yourself because you are very active in the ecosystem. Congratulations once again. You are part of the civics committee now. What does your committee do exactly? And how do you think is important for the entire ecosystem?
Well, I mean, thank you very much for having me, and also the question that you're asking. I think it is really an important question that needs to be discussed. But given that we don't have quite enough, I'll just keep it very snappy so that maybe an ordinary person listening to me who wants to know what civics committee is all about would also get a fair knowledge of what it is about.
Sure.
So civics committee, you can think of it as a driver of a bus. And the bus in this case would be the Cardano. I mean, the passengers in this bus would be the Cardano community members. And then the bus itself would be the Cardano ecosystem, right? So civics committee, we are the driver and also the conductor of the bus. So practically what we are doing is that it is our jobs to steer the Cardano governance and ensure that it is going smooth, and also we are getting the necessary updates and development needed to ensure that it lives to serve its purpose for which Cardano governance was introduced. So that is basically what civics committee is about. So everything Cardano governance, think about civics committee.
Fantastic. You make it very simple for laymen like us to understand it. Thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to engage our winners more. But we have to go back to our participants on the call to also share with us exactly what is on their hearts and what they want you to represent as far as these committees is concerned. There are a lot of people on the call who are very experienced in this whole Cardano business. I'm happy on this particular call, people like John T, people like Peter, and I see Pedro. Lucas here. Lucas is also very keen in the ecosystem. Kindly unmute and share with us anything you want our elected members to represent in terms of projecting the interest of Africa. Lucas, welcome. You want to say hi to us?
Hi, everyone. Congratulations to everyone that was elected. I've been in the open source committee for 6 months. I'm going to be there until October. And I'm also, because I am chair of the OSC, I'm also participating in the Intersect steering committee, which is very interesting. And so if anyone, since you are in a committee now, you have access in a way through the chair of your committee to the Intersect steering committee. And I can tell you, in the Intersect steering committee, we've been pushing for more openness, and so that instead of just having the chairs coming to the Intersect steering committee, so the chairs of each committee could bring more members from their committee to get to see a bit how things are being addressed and discussed in the Intersect steering committee. And I've also pushed for what we would call town hall call between the committee members, not for the whole Cardano members-based organization, not for the whole Cardano community, but so that Intersect gets to articulate a bit more between committees. I think it's been a gap since the beginning that I'm not going to name committees, but you can think of a number of them that articulate in terms of their goal, and they are not actually talking. So a lot of committees are acting very much in a silo, and I know there's always the intent to stop doing that, but I don't think we've achieved that goal. So also on a personal level, with my initiative 45B, we have been running a Grassroots in Touch initiative, and we've been reaching out to a number of communities. So our goal day to day is to teach end users, not developers. We want to onboard small and medium businesses of any line of business, and so I think it's very interesting for us to articulate with everyone that's onboarding users already. So if you're interested about this, just reach out to us via 45b.io. You have all our socials there and my own personal things there. So we'd be happy to talk a bit.
Thank you, Pedro, and
thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure having you around. You want to share those contact information on the chat so that if anyone can reach you out, then that'll be easier.
Congrats for the space.
Say again?
Congratulations for this space. It's really refreshing to see the pace that you go through. I think it should be an example even for Catalyst and for Intersect.
Thank you.
You guys are really well organized.
Thank
Cheers.
you. And keep joining us regularly, not once in the blue moon. Thank you, Pedro. Saidu, you are an advocate in the if I can say, the Cardano Africa ecosystem. We have a number of winners or people joining the various committees. Do you have anything on your mind? You have anything on your heart you want to share with them so that they can just push forth and help Project Africa?
Right, Samuel, thanks so much for the opportunity. We've done it before. Sending the congratulations messages to this Wada Forum brethren who have been elected to serve in these various communities from Africa on our end. So probably I don't have much to say. We believe in these people. That's why we voted for them, and then also advocate for them and campaign for them to be elected. Just something that we just encourage them that they should know that they are not serving themselves. They are representing the entire Africa. Indeed, one of my experience or my objectives or take home is that anytime I try opportunity or have the opportunity to serve either North or Ghana in any other form, it goes beyond me. It goes beyond the person that I'm working with or the team I'm working with. I look at it as a Ghanaian. Looking at the convention that we went for, we didn't just go for ourselves. We went there to represent Ghana. So these people serving these various committees try the possible to say that we have 54 countries in Africa. How are you going to represent these 54 countries? Even if not Africa, but for your country. Try the possible to look at the population of your country and then advocate for more projects that will benefit our brethren here in Africa. You know Africa more than them. So now it's an opportunity for them to try to channel solutions that will definitely solve the problem that we have. Because they don't know, they are always trying to decide for us. This opportunity for us, so let us not miss this opportunity. Thank you, now I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you, Saidu. I go back to John T. John T, do you have anything you want to share with our newly elected members?
No, congratulations, and it keeps the blockchain engaged. I think they are the representative for the blockchain. It's important to have a say with the real world. So it's a good point. It's like an on-ramping for opinions and also goals. Personally, I would say it's a new experience for Cardano, and as Charles was making it is actually, yes, a big deal. So once the process goes through and other blockchains come to learn as to what is the benefits, what is the cost, and what is the way to improve on it, I think Cardano still kind of innovates. And I wish them to be forceful, to be truthful, and to be courageous in the face of challenges of different opinion. But for the sake of Africa, we can only use our we don't have the data to push it financially, but in terms of ideas, in terms of brainstorming, in terms of contributing, I think that's already a good thing that we are represented.
Thank you, John T. Peter, you have been there from day one.
Yeah.
With us? I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, congrats to everyone. I mean, it's great to have people at the table in the room where the decisions are getting made. I mean, everyone has said what matters. Like, Africa has a huge opportunity to truly be a beacon of hope for what blockchain technology has to offer. And so, I mean, what I'd advise everyone who's on any of these committees to keep doing is stay true to the course. I mean, everyone here is trying to make life better for ourselves and then also for Africa at large. And so stay focused on staying true to this ideal. Hey, we want to make our lives better. We want to improve things in Africa. And so that should guide, all your decisions.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. We are on top of the hour. Unfortunately, we need to bring the curtain down at this point. Megan, are you there? Maybe I come back and you take over from here.
No, I am here, but we're at the time for me, unfortunately. So I think we'll have to cut the small talk.
Yeah.
It was a really engaging session. It's nice to hear from the different committee members, and I think we can keep this forum space as an opportunity for the community members to give updates and things like that. So I do think it would be good to keep you guys coming. I'll be providing updates, obviously on my side from the Intersect committee, budget committee. Yeah. So thanks everyone. Good to see you again. Well, we didn't see you, Peter, but I heard your voice.
Yeah, no, I'll be back. I'll make sure that whenever I've got time to join, I join.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, and Pedro, really appreciate your kind words about the forum space. It's nice to hear that compliment. It's why we're here every week, pushing forwards and keeping things moving. But thanks so much, everyone, and see you next week.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Thank you.